Greetings LEGO fans! Today we're about to try out something else. We're going back to the year 1990 to revisit one of my all-time favorite sets, set number 6042, Dungeon Hunters. But here's the thing, while reminiscing over my old set instructions and leaflets, I decided to take this beloved classic and give it a modern day makeover using fresh parts, new techniques I've mastered over the years, and of course, as a man of my profession should, a custom box design to go along with the build. So get ready to combine the old with the new, and let's get started right now. If you're a long-time fan of LEGO Castle, and especially an old fart like me, you've probably seen this one before and you remember the thrill of building these classic sets from the Crusaders line. Back in the year 1990, LEGO's Castle theme was all about epic adventures. The times were different and the sets were not focused on giving the most complicated and enormous build, but pure joy packed into just a handful of pieces. And this one is just a perfect example of this. As part of the Crusaders faction, this set brought brave knights, a rugged prison carriage, and even a mysterious Robin Hood-like forestman into our playrooms, which by itself gave us a lot of joy, and if you had a couple more bricks, it was a portal to endless possibilities. But let's take a closer look at the set itself. The compact kit came with 105 pieces and 3 minifigures, 2 brave Crusaders knights and 1 rogue forestman. The design, though simple by today's standards, back then was full of character, not only looking great on its own, but was also very playable. I mean, just check out the faction colors of the prison carriage and all the playful accessories we got with the set. We had here weapons in the back of the wagon, an opening cell where you could put the prisoner in, turning wheels, and a few accessories that allowed playing out a lot of different scenarios. It's clear that, even back then, LEGO knew how to tell a story with every brick. But while the original set holds a special place in my heart, I ask myself, what if we could take this classic and give it a modern twist? Inspired by my friend's Edge of Bricks remake of the Wolfpack Renegades wagon, I wanted to pay homage to the original while pushing its boundaries like I always tend to do in my builds, and this is what I came up with. As you can see, the overall shape and the color scheme is very similar to the original, but at the same time this build hits totally different, so let's talk about it. But first, let me show you the box I've made. I left the size and the style of the box as the original one was, but with slight modifications to more fit my own style of designing. So I gave a delicate texture on the yellow background, replaced the LEGO logo with my own, and added a few markings showing what this set actually is, like the set name on the banner in the corner, some faction logos on the sides, and of course a set number indicating that this is not a one-time thing, and I intend to make at least a few more continuing the numeration, just like I did with my CMF series. But now let's put this box aside and let's talk about the build itself, shall we? The first most noticeable difference is, I guess, the cage. After looking at lots and lots of historical references, digital artworks and models, I combined them all in brick form with the most historical accuracy I could, and the result is so much more than I intentionally imagined in my head. Of course, I tried to keep the original color scheme while doing this build, and that's why we have the front wall made in blue and the deck in red, but other than that, I decided to tone the rest, keeping most of the carriage in black, with even some reddish-brown accents. And speaking of which, the most noticeable accent here that differs this model from the original are the chests on the side. And given the fact that the original set had some covers here to hide what's inside of the cage, I figured that this would be a good usage of space, especially that I don't really have any clips on the back to hold the weapons and other accessories. And yes, we can actually put something inside. Okay, the opening system isn't perfect, but with a little grace, you can easily open the chest to see what's inside. There is a small lock on the bottom of the carriage, which kinda keeps it from dropping open entirely on its own, but if you really want to put something inside, you have to remove it entirely and then reconnect it back in place. But the best part of the wagon is, I think, the cage itself. Not only I managed to make it entirely with bars and not having thick walls surrounding it, but also the doors through which the criminals are thrown in are so seamless that you can barely tell them apart from the rest. But having the bars all around, I wanted to keep the driver a bit more secured to not be stabbed by the prisoner or something, so here is where I made the blue wall with a tiny window, not only separating the two, but also keeping that original set aesthetic. I even put some spears on the side like the set had, only here they are not holding the doors in place, but rather just hanging on the sides in case the driver needs a weapon to defend his transport. And speaking of the driver's spot, here I made him a little comfy place to sit with some leg cover like we often see in different medieval carriages, and all of that is sitting high behind the horses. I added one more compared to the original set, because it's very unlikely that one would be able to pull such a heavy metal structure all by himself, not to mention the driver and prisoners that they would be carrying. The harness is nice and red, connected easily by a pair of clips, and as the predecessor had, it's of course rotatable, allowing for hours and hours of fun playtime. And with that being said and shown, all we need now is a forestman being chained on the inside of the cage, which actually is an option here, and going along with the carriage, of course, a mounted guard to help out with the prisoner transport. Here again I went all in upgrading the horse with a new set of faction barding and giving the knight a killer new set of armor, all coming together for a bold remake of an already legendary classic. But what do you guys think? Did this modern twist on the Dungeon Hunters spark some nostalgia? Cause if you're feeling it, then listen up, because this build isn't just for show. I've entered it to the LEGO Ideas challenge called Twist of Nostalgia, and if it makes it to the finals, you'll have the power to help it rise from the shadow. That's right, you'll be able to vote to turn this into a real LEGO set. So keep your eyes on the channel, and when the time comes, I'll need your voice in the fight. And of course, if you enjoyed this journey through time with me, then be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and let me know which classic set should I remake next. I'm currently aiming to make a couple more sets like this, giving a modern twist to some of the most beloved classics, so there's a lot of fun in front of us. But until then, my friends, I just want to wish you a great rest of the day, and as always, just make sure you keep it brickin'.